My name is Clément Nyaletsossi Voule. I'm the UN Special Rapporteur on the right to freedom of peaceful assembly and association. And as a UN Special Rapporteur, I'm tasked to monitor the implementation or state compliance in guarantee and protection of the right to freedom of association and peaceful assembly. I'm also tasked to study trends that impede on the enjoyment of these rights and also to report it to the Human Rights Council. Yes, as I was saying, the UN Special Rapporteur, depending his mandate, have the main role to monitor the implementation or monitor the trends in relation to the rights that is assigned to him. We have different type of rapporteur within the UN system. Some may be a thematic rapporteur, meaning that if you are in charge of, like me, freedom of association, peaceful assembly, my main role is to monitor how states fulfill their obligation to protect these rights in their territory, and to be able also, through the trends that I'm observing, to develop material, to draft a report, to visit also countries, and to be able also to alert international community through the Human Rights Council on what I'm observing as trends, as a challenge for the implementation of these rights, as violation in general. But I'm also tasked to receive from people, individual groups that feel that their rights to peaceful assembly association is violated, to receive also their complaint. But we have different type when it comes to country rapporteur, meaning that it's a person that is appointed to deal with human rights situation of concern in particular country. Well, my visit here in Uganda since Monday 27 was particular to meet with social movement leaders coming from around the world. Because my next report to the General Assembly will be focused on the social movements and building better back agenda. As most of you will know, after COVID-19, the international community, international world leaders, UN, are promoting or are talking about we need to build better back after COVID-19. We need to do things differently. We need really to ensure that what is in the core of 2030 agenda, which is human being, can be re-put in the core of our action. We need to ensure also that inequalities, that all the impact of the COVID-19, which increase inequalities, which increase also poverty, we need also to ensure that we build better this world. So meaning that we should make sure that we don't do things like we used to do them. And then for me, it's important also to see if we want to build better back, then we need to listen to societies. We need to listen to people. We need to listen to people at the grassroots level. And those who represent these people is a social movement. Those movements that express the concern, express also the feeling of the people. So my report is mainly to inform countries, international community on the role that this movement can play in building better back agenda. So I'm here in Uganda to have this global consultation, and we had the consultation was very interesting, 3 days consultation, and we were able to share experience, but also I was able to understand the challenges that these movements face, what these movements are requesting, what they are asking their country to put in place in order to allow them to continue to work and also to continue also to contribute to this build better back agenda. We cannot build better back without these movements. We cannot build better back without communities. Well, my role, as I mentioned, is mainly to monitor how states implement these rights. If I take the example of freedom of association, peaceful assembly, my role is to ensure and to also monitor how states implement, how states guarantee these rights through adoption of their legislation, through adoption of mechanism, through also practice at the national level. And how do we ensure that is always to remind states whenever we think that there are some violation or there are practices that are not in line with their obligation to protect this fundamental freedom. We do that also by receiving information from people from the ground. We also do that by providing also technical advice to the states or through the elaboration of guidelines or other type of tools that we think if states implement them, then they will be able also to fulfill their obligation to protect and guarantee this fundamental freedom for their citizens. Well, convince probably is too much, but I'm sure that we don't have any other option. If we want to build a better this world, we need to listen to people. We need to listen to grassroots people. I'm convinced that without listening to them, without really ensuring that social movements that represent the will and then also reflect the concern and also the grievance and how society is feeling, I'm convinced that without consulting them, without listening to them, we will not build better this work. We will be doing things as we used to do them, meaning that not really tackle inequalities, not really tackling gender-based violence, not really ensuring that ensuring that we can fight against youth unemployment. Without also listening to them, we will not be able also to fight against climate change, because they are the ones that are affected, and they are the ones also that every day is also crying and also calling that we need to ensure that their environment is safe. We need to ensure also that those climate change that we are seeing around, which affect the health, which affect also which also affects which creates hunger also. We need also to ensure that we listen to them in order to be able to combat all of these challenges that we are facing. I enjoy my stay in Uganda. My general observation is that Uganda have a very vibrant civil society that work in many sectors: democracy, development, climate change, extractive industry. They work in different sectors to try to promote accountability, but also to try also to ensure also that the rights for citizens in this different area are guaranteed. Yes, they face a lot of challenge, as many of you can observe. And I think also that they are also working towards really tackling some of these challenges. I have opportunity to meet also some state authority to discuss some of these challenges, and I continue also to have this conversation on how we can improve the environments, the legal environment, operative environment of civil society, including the issue around access to funding. And we are doing that, and I think is it also civil society that really bring a lot in terms of fighting inequality, poverty in the country. And I think an improvement in environment in this civil society will be very helpful for the country. Well, my recommendation, I'm not here in the country visit to give a particular recommendation, but as I always say to any country, building peaceful relation, building trust, building also what I would say this kind of collaboration with civil society is important to overcome any challenge. We are living in a world today that crises are emerging every day, and we know communities are facing difficult time. We have also conflicts around us that are affecting also the economy of our country, and there is no state that can work alone. State needs civil society. They need civil society to work to strengthen democracy, to strengthen development, to strengthen rule of law, to strengthen accountability. My call will be always, like I used to do it in many countries, work with civil society, and you will see the benefits. Create a best environment to work with civil society, and you will see the benefits for country, the benefit also for communities.